All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. The topic tonight of our Rising Champ Zoom is going to be maintaining or cultivating or, just harboring this beginner's mindset. So I can only see a couple of you on the screen. I'm going to flip until I see people with this camera on, get some more energy. So the objective here, and Jan, what's up? I'm going to have you share too. So you get, I was just flipping. So the thought here is we all have to really understand that it's keep it simple, stupid. And the beginner's mindset is just imagine you didn't know all of the kind of the science. For me, I know it's like the science and it's a lot of the kind of the stories of really what this product can do. And then I just kind of word bomb it on people. We've all been in that situation. I can speak to this, the beginner's mindset, just driving like on the way. Well, just 30 minutes ago, I just had this kind of click because I'm thinking, okay, what's our content going to be? What are some things I can share? And then someone's asking me, what's in the reboot? Is just it like a max a day? And then I'm about to click the voice memo button. I'm like right there to click the voice memo button and start telling them, oh, it's, 2 max. And we got these pills in there and we got these with these better broths and all this, like, you're going to be good to go. Instead, I just kind of stopped and I sent the voice memo and said, hey, I'm driving right now. I'm going to send you a link really quick and you can see visually what's in it. And then you can scroll down and you'll see a video by Rob DeVore. Check that out and then let me know what you think. So we all knew this whenever we first got started, or those of you that are joining us tonight, we appreciate it. Maybe it's some of you guys' first Zooms. So thank you for hopping on. And, you may not know what a reboot really is. Maybe you've done one, but you don't really have all this knowledge. And whenever you don't have that knowledge, you're so quick to just go, hey, I don't know, talk to Jan, talk to Callie, talk to Melody, talk to someone else because I really don't have a clue what this reboot is. So if we can all keep that mindset right there, that's what, in martial arts and different philosophies, it's called a beginner's mindset. Because if you can always approach the situation like you don't have all that kind of background baggage information, then you can better assist the person, because that's going to be a very relatable level because they're also in that beginning spot too, and that beginner's mindset. So the whole concept here is we know to keep it simple, stupid, but really, really analyze it and say, hey, am I approaching this with that beginner's mindset? Am I texting this person with that beginner's mindset? Or am I sitting here voice memoing and I'm cranking out these long texts? Like, if you go and assess your text, and this is going to be true for all of us, and some people will do better with and some people we won't. And I think that kind of comes at the energy they bring at us. Like, if they bring us a little bit of these science nuggets, all of a sudden we just go and just like shoot all this science at them. Some of us know a lot about it, some of us don't. And it's that, if we can just sit in that moment and say, oh, all I got to do is send them a link. What I did in the beginning was I just sent them a link, and that's how we did it. Or, I opened a message up and I said, hey, maybe I've done 5 reboots now. This will be the 6th. Several of us, that'll be the same case. And we know how to describe it pretty well. The best thing we could describe, and this is kind of where a lot of our lives are switching, which I love, and different things, is, describe what the process was. Describe how you felt. What were the feelings before you ordered the reboot kit, especially the very first time, because that was still that time where you're like, I really don't know if I could do this. And, now that you've done it, like, what happened? What was the process? What went on? So it's your story. It's personal to you. It doesn't involve talking about like the benefits of the Keto Calm tea. It's just, you drank the tea, like maybe how you felt, what you got accomplished. And then the big thing that I personally have been missing, that if we can anchor to, will be that really that key for a lot of us, is just talk about where you're going. Like, what's your vision with the reboot? What are you looking to actually gain from this? Maybe the 6th reboot, if you've done a lot of them. What is that now? Like, what's that vision? Is it like you want to get XYZ body type, or you get, you're looking for some goal that you have, maybe performance wise, or, maybe it's to be able to do some kind of breath work and yoga or something like that. It could be really anything. So that's like just having that vision for the goal and saying like, hey, and then on the 6th one, what I'm really looking forward to is XYZ. So that way people can kind of associate with it. And that's all the beginner's mindset, because of the fact that it's not any about like really what the reboot is. It's not telling them it's, 2 packs of Keto Max and this and that, because people get bogged down in the details. And this is kind of this Zoom also kind of curtails off of Dustin's huddle call this morning, which was, go back and like just full court press today, like the month of July. A lot of people, he kind of described like a lot of people, today is the first day of the month just based on where their brain was at, maybe getting ready for parties and different things. And that's not a bad thing. Like no one should feel guilty or anything about maybe hosting an awesome party or doing something like that, because it's your energy in doing that that's going to be attracting a lot of people. Just note that, we have to be sending the personal messages and doing all these things. So beginner's mindset, knowledge is power, enthusiasm flips the switch. We hear that from Brian Underwood all the time. It's so, so true. Most opportunities are missed from a lack of excitement than anything. It's not whether the product was good or the product was bad or this or that or all these nitty gritty details. It was, were you super excited whenever you presented the product to them? So were you in that energy where you were actually like, you were going to resonate and attract, like, were they going to want the product at that point? Because your energy was so high. They were like, I don't even know what this is. Like, I don't really know what we're talking about, but he's got something that I want. And I can just tell because of his energy, or she's got something that I want because of the energy. So, I mean, someone said that to me the other day and it just hit me. Like, most opportunities are lost because a lack of excitement. Okay, is it quiet for everybody? I have Wendy on my screen.
Hey,
okay.
No, I think that's just her. You're loud and clear.
Okay.
Sorry,
Crank
Callie.
up the volume, Callie. Crank it up. I feel like I'm yelling. So it is that whole enthusiasm thing. And then really going back to the basics, always going back to the basics. We can get so caught up in, and here's just an honest, just me, and I was talking to Ryan about it. It's something that from a talk with Dustin back and forth was, I love language. Like, I love being a student and learning language. It's just that for like, and I'm not even going to go into it here, for majority of people, if we start trying to teach them language and like perfect text messaging and all of this stuff, like it's just going to bog them down. Now, is it benefiting them? Sure. Is it slowing them down? Sure. So the thing is, we really want to get them to into action, into progress. So, we have amazing tools, and that's going to be the model that we always want to run with. We know we've heard this a million times, but just kind of use the beginner's mindset to kind of act as an anchor that we always come back to, because if you can hold that beginner's mindset, the business is all of ours. Like, it really is. The only thing that can get in the way is overcomplicating it, because then we try to control part of it, or, our ego can kind of flare in that situation or different situations. And if you're always just like, oh, let me just shoot them over the tool, because even my words, if I was going to voice memo that lady about the reboot, it's still my story, which has to do with my ego, which I can kind of portray. Of course, I want to portray it in a positive way, but whenever you portray it, it can kind of go either which direction. So here, if they watch Rob DeVore's video, it's a very, cohesive video. We're all seeing the same stuff and it's all saying the same thing. So that's where we want to utilize that. I'm going to put you on mute really quick, or go ahead and mute yourself. So what Dustin said this morning was, let's all go pro. So in the next 7 days, let's all look to go pro. And for those of you that maybe jumped on, you're brand new, and if you don't know what Go Pro is, we have an amazing video. There's actually new videos, so everyone should have checked these out by now, or if you haven't got a chance to, let's all go check them out. And that's ProveItNow, PRUVITNOW.com. So ProveItNow.com /, fast start. And you're going to see the video that really details out the different like the Go Challenge, which involves Go Pro and Go MVP. There's new videos on there, and those are some of the great tools that we'll be using to keep it simple. Sure, we know what it means to go pro and what it means to go MVP, but even if I tell Wendy right now, you're just right next to me. If I told you, Wendy, and you're just just got started and you hear me, it's just kind of like when you're tired and it's just like, la, la, la. I do that all the time. Like, your lips are moving. People are kind of hearing you, but it's not really integrating into their body. And that's where, if instead they learn from the video, they're like, wow, I'm going to go watch that video like 10 more times. And then whenever their friend gets started, then all they know to do is like, honestly, let me just shoot you over the video. So we know this strategy of, keep it simple, stupid, but it's really, really, really anchored to all our job is to tell stories. So if we can bring in that newest person, or if you are our newest person, really get familiar with storytelling. The knowledge, the science, if you want that, like, come to Jason Higdon, come to me, come to Ryan, come to several of us that are the weirdos that really just like will listen to the science just because it actually fills us up and it builds our certainty. Because when you know the science for, maybe you're an RN, maybe you're a nurse, something like that, you kind of need this science because it builds your certainty. Keto Academy is an amazing event for that. So rather than me try to portray it onto someone, hey, you got to get to our Keto Academy event. Some of the things I heard from the last event were, or the ways I felt when they were talking were, so you can kind of go that direction. So you want to tell them about the event and all the science and get them pumped up to go there. And then we'll just use our marketing on the Facebook page and different things like that to really keep that buzz and that energy, and then kind of keep the ball moving down the field. So the one person, Jen, you went away from me. But actually, I'm going to bring Krista on. Krista, are you still there? Is Krista on?
Yes.
Krista, so
yes,
we're talking the beginner's mindset, and I've watched you, Jan, Brent Couture, Lori Couture, several of you guys just start crushing events again. And I want you to kind of speak from the perspective of you've had a lot of different phases, periods, seasons, whatever you want to call them, and you're not brand new by any means. And what I see and what I'm seeing constantly when I go to Facebook, which is absolutely amazing, is you guys are out in the community. You got like a tent. So kind of speak to how that came about. And I also see Lori and Brent, like if you guys want to tag team in, go right ahead. Because it's so important to know that at all stages of our business, you want this, like, just like, hey, we just started today. Hey, we just started today. Hey, we just started today. I'm going to
No, I think that in the beginning, we had to build some of our confidence up, and then we started doing some stuff in our community, and we felt like we got the ball rolling. And then we kind of, like you said, kind of went into a different phase. We forgot what we were supposed to be doing. Like, we got caught up in some other things. And then now we realize, what are we doing? We've got to get back out in the community. We've got to be doing more things. We've got to be telling more people about ketones. And so we've started doing more events, setting up at parks and setting up at fairs. And I don't know, I think we have about 4 already this summer that we're going to be setting up at, and just being out in the community more and having more get-togethers and things going on. Which, in the beginning we did that a little bit, and then we kind of rested back and said, okay, we found some people, let's just talk to people we know. And we kind of phased through that. And then part of it was our growth too. Like, we had to have some time to grow. And then, we kind of got back out in the community. And honestly, as soon as you do that, your business just starts going again. It's almost like a do-over button, and you just start again. Yeah.
2 things. One, do you feel like the more event or events like that were really able to drive your personal growth and kind of maybe paint a little of that picture? We'll start there, actually. We'll just do one at a time. So, like, how is more different events that you've showed up to? Because so much of our business, I would say, is just showing up. How have those kind of influenced your change?
Absolutely. I've been to 2 more events, and I've been to Epic, and I've been to some community events that were pretty big. And then Jared got to come to more this year, and Jared's here too with me. Those were huge for us as far as personal growth and just like growing into our business and into ourselves, and not worrying what people would think about us. And then also just being around the community at those events and seeing that we're not alone. And I mean, I know we have a community here, but when you see it on that scale and you hear the doctors and you see the stories, I mean, it's just kind of like, you kind of know you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing. And then you just continue to grow. And I don't know that we would be where we are now if we hadn't gone to, I know I wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone to the 2 mores and Epic and the community stuff. I don't feel like Jared would be either. Would you? What do you think?
No, they just, they bring the validation to what we're doing, and seeing that community and that big atmosphere like it was in Louisville was pretty cool. That was a first for me. It really re-energized me and ready to go.
For sure.
Yeah, Jared was dancing on stage for those of you that were at the last event. It was Jared is a pharmacist. He's more conserved. He told me multiple times he was not going to dance. I saw him not dancing a lot of the event. Then all of a sudden he's up there, and it's not all about dancing at the events, but it's a good portion of dancing. It's pretty fun. I was totally against it. Jared was totally against it. And then all of a sudden he ends up on stage going crazy, which is awesome. Which is
It's
really
like
a
a man-
breakthrough because it's being yourself. It's becoming yourself, like being
Right.
okay.
Right.
The other question I had for you, Krista, was something
Mhm.
that is kind of an awareness for a lot of us, I think, is, you know, we talk to the same people all the time. Have you noticed that since your attention has gone to doing the local events and stuff like that, are you talking to a lot more like diversity of people, or just are you talking to new people?
Yeah, lots of new people, a lot of different diversity of people. I mean, for us, like, you know, we kind of had our own little group, and to be to be honest, and I'm sure a lot of you all, when you came in, felt the same way. We're like, man, our friends aren't cool. Like, nobody wants to listen to us. Everybody thinks we're idiots. Like, what kind of friends do we have? And it really wasn't them. It's more about us growing and being okay with them not wanting it, you know, or not seeing our vision. But it's kind of crazy because once you get out in the community and you don't know anybody and you're just talking to these people and meeting new people from different backgrounds and different places, like, there's a lot of people that are super accepting of this. It's just you got to get out there and figure out who they are and who wants it and who doesn't and who might be ready for it later. And, you know, I've honestly been surprised at some of the people who have bought 5 days and 10 days, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I especially when you're out in the community, there is a lot of prejudging. Like like as humans, we judge things, but it doesn't mean you have to like characterize your conversation based on the judgment. But yeah, no, I'm always constantly blown away by the different people that, like, it's almost from like 20 feet away that you're like, no way. And all of a sudden they're like some like basically like science guru or something like that. And you're just like, what in the heck happened there? It's kind of like when Bruno walked up to us at a bike race. I see he's got the ear pod in.
Right?
He was like, who are these dudes? Jan, do you have anything to add on to that? I don't know if you have a mic or not, but I know you've been in a lot of those events, and we started off in that, and then now we've really repercolated. Or I'm not in this. Like you've been repercolating this.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny because I think you kind of, I hate to use the word complacent, but we really did get kind of complacent with thinking that we needed to be out there kind of leading, even if we're not hosting the event ourselves, but leading our teams to host these events that we all get involved in. Because I did have so many leaders come up and start doing events, and you don't want to steal their thunder, and they need to learn to lead. So you kind of take that back step, but then you realize, but wait, I shouldn't be taking a back step. I just need to take a side step and keep doing my events. So that's been really fun to watch people who haven't done a lot of events do them, because I swear we show up half the time and we don't really even have to speak anymore because people know this. They love the product. They're excited, enthusiastic, but just having our support there means a lot. And it's interesting just how it changes, because at the beginning we felt like, oh, we got to be the ones that talk. We don't need to be the ones that say a word. You know, it's like it's fun to not say a word. So it's funny because I have, you know, watched you and Ryan kind of do the same thing in the beginning, and it's like it happens naturally, but I didn't realize that it would happen that way. And we actually just left a mixer tonight, and I mean, had a blast, you know, just meeting new people and had great questions, but didn't get too sciencey. And I don't know, we are in activity and we have so much planned for the next couple months, and we don't plan to stop anytime soon because this is why we did it. We love getting out and talking to people. So
Yep. No, I love that. I love that. And I remember so vividly the first a zillion mixers that took place all over Owensboro and everywhere that really still do take place. They've just kind of spread to the entire nation now. So back to the whole beginner's mindset, all of this basically says for the very brand new person, you're hearing, you know, individuals that have been in our community for over a couple of years, and it's still the same thing. It's like, no, we got, like what Jan just said, it's easy to get complacent, or it's easy to think that instead of me texting new people to like get a reboot, like, hey girl, did you get your reboot? Hey man, did you get your reboot? Hey, what'd you think about the video? Hey, you know, instead of doing that, sometimes you get in this mode like, oh, I need to make sure everyone else is doing that. I need to make sure, oh, let me text Ryan. Ryan, are you texting people with the reboot right now? Hey, let me call this person. So you start calling the same people and you feel like you're getting a lot done, but you're doing all these different roles that don't have anything to do with the activity. And back to this, like the foundation of our business, which is leading by example. And that's the best way to do that is, you know, always harbor that beginner's mindset. No matter how advanced we all get, we have to stay at that step one, because the person that you meet at the grocery store tonight or tomorrow or whenever it is or wherever it is, they're at step one. If you can meet them there with that mindset, then you guys can grow together. And we have all the tools, we have all the people, we have all the leadership. You know, maybe at the beginning that wasn't as flushed out, but even more so, it's right on point. So always remember that no matter what you see, you may see someone really like you kind of look at them like they're doing all these amazing things, but the way they got there is by staying in this mindset and using tools versus being smart themselves. So always harbor that mindset of knowing that no matter what happens, you want to keep it simple, stupid. And ignorance is the best thing you could possibly have. Like, just chat with people and listen to them. Most people just want to be heard. And then if you're excited and you're listening to them and you're kind of regurgitating things, they're going to want to do what you're doing just because they can't figure out why they're so into the conversation, because they're just being heard. So that's my 2 cents on the beginner's mindset. Ryan, I see you have mute off. If anyone else has any ideas around this, and for me now, it just needs to become doing mixers again and wherever I'm at. So I'm more mobile, but that doesn't mean, like, that's just the challenge. And now I got to find the solution. So we all have to do these mixers. We all have to do, you know, like being consistent with Facebook posts. I actually randomly mountain biked with like a top network marketing dude, and he didn't know anything. I think he actually tried to start Utopia, and then just like, just prove it. And the one thing he said from all the different things he's built was essentially how many, like, he just asked me, how many people are you personally recruiting every month? It wasn't like, how many Zooms are you doing? Or like, well, how much are you doing this or that? It was like, no, how many people are you personally enrolling? Because it is speed of leader, speed of the pack. It's, if you're not enrolling people, the people below you, whenever you're in conversation, it's when it comes out. You don't necessarily even notice it because it's just the experience you're having. If you were on a 3-way call that morning with a personal and someone else, and then you go get on a call later and you're going to coach someone and you're talking about that call, that's everything. Because that's the kind of the link that they can say, oh, he's doing it too. She's doing it too. We're all in this together. We're all doing these same activities. Like, I always looked at him like, or her, like they were this person, like they're up on the pedestal, but in reality, they're doing the same activity and actions we are every day. And like, people will do what you do, not what you say to do. So if we all stay in the beginner's mindset, we all stay doing the things we know to do that are simple. They're not necessarily glamorous. They're simple. They're a little tedious. Texting a lot of people can be very tedious. And that's where you can get complacent on that action, because it's like, you don't want to do that. Like, it's easier to go take a phone call and walk around the park or something like that with someone that you're comfortable talking to all the time. So, you know, stay in that mindset, keep it super simple. All the tools, even more so than ever, are coming out. And boom, fall in love with the mundane is so huge. That's something Gary Vee talks about as well, is that's like the tedious stuff is what other people won't do. That's going to distinguish us all to be at the best, like to be way ahead. Like the 99% and the 1%, this is like, don't look at this in politics, but just look at it as 99% of people will not do that tedious action. The 1% is the people that will sit there and do the tedious action. So also be the people that win. There's a reason there's, you know, I don't want to go into that one, but there is a reason behind these different things that kind of play out in society. If you take all the politics out of it, it's the people that are doing the activities that win. So appreciate everyone for hopping on. If anyone else wants to speak on kind of beginner's mindset, restarting your business, or just how to keep it simple, please do. And love seeing all your good, beautiful faces tonight. I got to scroll around though.
I'll say the only thing I was going to add, and you might have hit on this a little bit in the beginning. I was a few minutes late, so if I have, I'll just be reinforcing it. But something that I can't remember if it was Michael or Dustin, and Kate, I think actually you pointed this out. But using the resources to validate or to answer a question like, why is there so much sodium in the product, and connecting with people for the relatability and the storytelling. Don't just connect someone with someone in the community because you need to know about the sodium. Use a resource, use an article, use a video, something to answer that question, and lean on human beings for the relatability and storytelling. So that was really all I had. That was a takeaway that was relevant, that kind of when I heard it was like, yeah, no, that makes good sense.
Yep. And the Keto U series. So if you go proveitnow.com like kind of like the fast start, proveitnow.com/fast start. If you go /keto U, KETO, just the letter U, then there's amazing videos right there of Dr. Andy. And there's just going to be more to come. We also have the Wednesday Facebook Live. So that's an awesome kind of point there, Ryan, you know, because then that's going to paint the next person as like, if Ryan connected me with someone for a sodium question, then Ryan, I'll become the expert and I can't be that like another relatable party. Yes, I'm validating and I'll take a higher position. But you can't necessarily gain the relatability of another person that's just having a similar experience and like got a little further already. So I really like that one, Ryan. Don't fall in love with potential. Never fall in love with it. All right, guys. Because whenever you fall in love with potential, you identify a piece of yourself that's lacking. A Newmanism to end it right there. All right. Oh, also Purple Rain. Be on the lookout for Purple Rain. Purple Rain. So we can play with posts. You'll see several of them. I got to find some purple stuff. The purple shirt I have smells really bad. I went and looked for it. So if you have any Purple Rain around, shake it up, do some fun stuff with it. Think curiosity generation. Posting a picture of a purple bottle will probably not do that much. You know, maybe stories around it, things like that. Always think stories. So you could have some kind of fun story around the color purple or something purple or something like that. So have an enjoyable rest of your Thursday evening. And if anyone has any questions, reach out to one of you, someone that you see on here, myself, Ryan, Kate, Jan, any of us, and we're happy to support. So cheers, guys. There's also a recording for this. Just shoot me a message.